So hello everyone and welcome back. And in the previous lecture we had launched Python Power Electronics. We had set up the Python Power Electronics application, set up the server, set up the database, everything. Now this process might have seemed a little complicated and you might be wondering how many of these steps need to be repeated on a daily basis. For example, what would you need to do if you just want to launch a circuit simulator? Now typically in most other simulators you just double click on an icon and that's all you need to do. So with Python Power Electronics, what do you need to do? So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down the circuit simulator. So this is where we were. I'm going to just shut it down. Let's exit the terminal as well, and let's close down the browser which had the circuit simulator open. So let's start from scratch. Now as I said before, we have already set up Python Power Electronics, which means we have already set up the database, we have done everything. We just want to launch the circuit simulator. We just want to run the circuit simulator and simulate. That's all we need to do. So for that, first we must launch a terminal, right? So in my case, I'm going to launch the GNOME terminal. Depending on what version you're using, you can use GNOME, you can use console, you can use just about any terminal in your system. So the first thing we need to do is, first and foremost, you don't have to do this if you know your environment, but you can always check what are your environments. Now I have the base environment and I have the PPE environment, which I have set up in the previous lectures. So the first thing we need to do is activate this PPE environment, and you see the name changes here. This is very important because this means the PPE environment is now active. Now the next thing we need to do is you need to know where is the directory in which you have installed the circuit simulator. So in my case, it is installed in documents. This is where the simulator is. This is where I installed the simulator. Now you might have installed it in some other location. That's not a problem. Wherever you have installed it, you need to navigate into that folder, right? So I'm going to go into this. This is the directory which I had unzipped from downloading from the Python Power Electronics website. Okay, so let's cd into that. And now we have this. These are the files which are extracted, right? Keep going. Now finally we reach this file. We reach the directory which has the file python manage.py, or rather manage.py. As I said before, this manage.py file is the most important file for Python Power Electronics. This is like your launch file. It is similar to the exe file that we always use in Windows for launching any application, right? We will also use this here. Now in order to be able to do this, all you have to do is keep changing directories until you are inside the directory which contains this file manage.py. That's all you have to do. Keep on cding into it. In my case, I had to cd into documents, simulator, and so on and so forth. You might have to cd into something else if that's where you stored your circuit simulator files. All right. So once you're here, all I have to do, now remember, I have already migrated my database. I have made migrations, I have migrated, and that's the reason why I have this simulation collection. As I said, simulation collection is your database. So which means I don't have to do those steps again. I do not have to do them again. All I have to do is say python manage.py run server. That is the option run server. This launches the circuit simulator. So as before, this just says there are no issues. The development server is running at this link. And all I have to do is copy this link, go over to my browser, open a tab, paste it, and I have launched my circuit simulator. So on a daily basis, or rather once you have installed your circuit simulator, you do not have to keep repeating the steps of manage.py, make migrations, migrate, all those. You don't have to do it. This is all that you have to do. All right. To recap, activate your environment. This is very important. Activate your PPE environment, or whichever is the environment in which you have installed all the packages necessary for Python Power Electronics. Change directory until you reach the directory that contains manage.py. All right. Manage.py is your launch file, similar to an exe file in any other system like a Windows system. You need to run the command python manage.py run server. That's it. With this, your server is going to be running. You should check this, that they get this output, and this shows that your server is successfully running. Copy this link, paste it in your browser, and you should get your circuit simulator. So this is what you need to do. Make sure that this is working. If this is working, then you're good to go, and I'll see you in the next section. If you have any doubts or anything didn't work, post in the Q&A forum, or I'll see you in the next section. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now.